Attention, please. Here's something I bet you didn't know. Not all supplements are created equal. At HealthSpan, our omega-3 oil is sustainably sourced from the South Pacific Ocean. We find our turmeric in the southern slopes of India. And our cod liver oil comes from the cold, crisp seas off Greenland. We work hard to seek out the best ingredients for our supplements, because that's the HealthSpan way. We're healthspan.co.uk. Vitamins and supplements in-store or direct to your door.
Right now, it's more vital than ever that we keep in touch. So at Labara, we're offering a great value SIM-only deal. 1,000 texts and 1,000 minutes to the UK. 100 extra minutes to 40 other countries, plus 2 gigs of data. All for just £5. No contract. You can change at any time. Not that you'd want to. Labara. Stay connected.
Tier Vinzo. Battleborn.
Whatever your day holds, you need a breakfast that helps you get up and go. Up.
And go, go, go.
Up.
And go.
A delicious breakfast shake made with oats and milk. High in fibre, high in protein, high in calcium. Start right with Up and Go. The official breakfast partner of British Swimming. Find us in the cereal aisle.
Hello and welcome back to the final day here in Ponsford, Sheffield. We're at the British Paraswimming International Meet 2021, incorporating the World Paraswimming World Series. I'm Liz Johnson and I'll be taking you through the heats this morning. We have a saying in swimming, last one, fast one, and that's definitely true of this morning's session. The schedule shouldn't take too long this morning. Here we have it. We'll start with the women's and men's multi-class 50 metre freestyle, bit of a splash and a dash, and then women's multi-class 100 metres butterfly, followed by the men's multi-class 100 metres butterfly. So as I said, it's a short, sharp one this morning, but many athletes have had to wait till day 4 for their main events. Still lots of opportunities to post consideration times for those great British athletes. But also the international athletes, they can post times here too for their respective federations and International Paralympic Committee to consider entry times for the Paralympics this summer. The officials there just taking up their position. Partly it's like we've never been away, but in many aspects, it's a very different environment to that we are used to. Once again, the technical delegate being introduced is Tony Ward. The men's referee for this morning is David Metcalf. And then the women's referee, there she is, Christine Golightly. And finally, our starter for all events this morning will be Elizabeth Fitzsimmons. As I said, a number of different protocols in place here in Sheffield. It's exciting to have some live international racing back, but it hasn't been an easy feat to make it happen. You can see the normally packed Ponds Forge is quite sparse with bodies. Up in the where the crowds would normally be are the athletes. Each seat is marked with either a tick or a cross of where you're allowed to sit. And then this call room down on the bottom here, where would normally be packed with teams supporting, is actually now, you can only be on poolside if you have an official role in races that are imminent. So either being an official, being the athlete that's about to participate, or being a member of team staff that has the responsibility to assist an athlete with their participation, whether that be getting on the block, whether that be transporting limbs down to the other end of the pool, or helping people out of the pool at the other end. Everybody has had to be signed off so that they can walk onto pool deck, and we keep the traffic of humans on poolside to a minimum at all times.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for the women's 50 metres freestyle heats.
So the women for the first heat of the multi-class 50-metre freestyle making their way onto poolside now. There'll be 2 heats of this event, a real mix of youth and experience, being led out there by Japanese athlete Anna Shida. 32.27 is her entry time. Leah O'Connell swam 50-metre butterfly yesterday. She's going for Great Britain in lane 5. Here we have the start list, a range of categories, S4 being the lowest in this race, and Husna Kondaki of Uganda in lane 4, going in the S9 category. There is Leah O'Connell, the S7 athlete from Camden Swiss Cottage, doing her recent pandemic training in Manchester at the High Performance Centre. Just testing the start. So as they test the start in venue, I'll take you through the start list. Halevi of Israel is in 2. Fernandez Infante in Spain is in 3. Kukadwaki of Uganda in 4. O'Connell of Great Britain in 5. Moman of the Netherlands in 6. And Nishida of Japan in lane 7. So good starts there from Nishida and O'Connell. They had a very tight race. O'Connell just getting the better of that in the 50 fly yesterday. And there we can see that single arm freestyle of Leah O'Connell going very well with the Kokandwaki, the S9 athlete, 1 lane up from her. But now we see Nishida employing also that one arm freestyle in that S7 category in the bottom lane on your screen. Japanese athlete going very well as we approach the final 5 meters. The athlete at the top of the picture, lane 2, sneaking through at the end. Errol Halevi also in that S7 category, taking that victory, 37.02, as Marta Fernandez Infante of Spain comes in to finish in the S4 category. Is a multi-class event, so we will have to wait to see who proceeds to the final based on their points score. Yona Morman smiling. She's had a brilliant meet. She came here to get her international classification confirmed. Done personal best races every time she's entered the water. 38.62 for Molman in the S4 category. And there we can see from those results, that scores her 942 ahead of the 3 S7 athletes. 624, 616 points required to get third position in this first heat. So those athletes will be watching this second heat to see if that is enough to progress for a second race in the final session. The second heat we will move on to shortly, just waiting for everything to be disinfected. And there we can see in lane 0, it is the world champion and today's birthday girl, Tully Kearney of Great Britain and City of Manchester Aquatics. She goes in the S5 category. Paralympic champion Hannah Russell, also of City of Manchester and Great Britain. She goes in the S12 category in lane 6. Said many athletes waited for this last day for the main event. Susanna Cowell is one of those athletes of Estonia World Championship bronze medalist in this event back in Mexico in 2017. This will be a fast heat.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to poolside the athletes for the women's 50 meters freestyle heat 2.
Another success story of this competition. There we can see Rebecca Redfern, second in your picture. She's fresh off posting a consideration time in the 100 meters breaststroke. She'd already made herself in the pile for consideration, having won the World Championships in that event. But then last summer she had a baby and now she's made her comeback. So some athletes benefiting from Tokyo 2020 being delayed by a year. Rebecca Redfern definitely will agree, I think, that she is one of those, and it's great to see her back. Hannah Russell also took some time out after Rio 2016, and it's great to see her back and loving her swimming again. She's just getting faster and more confident with every race that she does. This will be quick. It's Kearney, then Lebrun, then Crowhurst, then Supio, Kane, Russell, Pierre, Redfern, Cal. Lane 5 is empty. No Cristino Zapata of Mexico. And there we can see that black hat of Hannah Russell taking it out strongly. She always has a good first half of the race. And you can see she's a body length up on Emmeline Pierre of France, one lane closer to us. The pink hat of Abby Kane also going very well. But it's Hannah Russell that's going to take this touch in 28.46 ahead of Susanna Cowell, 29.27, and Emmeline Pierre, 30.31. Hannah Russell, as I said, is the Paralympic champion in this event, but for Tokyo, the S12 and the S13 category is combined. So Hannah Russell, Rebecca Redfern, Katie Crowhurst, and Abby Kane all looking for the same times. Tully Kearney there, 36.62 for her. She is the world champion. She's already got a consideration time for the Paralympics in the summer. Hannah Russell also already posted 2 consideration times. They said she'll be looking for the S13 qualifying time this time around. Tully Kearney, another athlete who, if she wants to be considered in this event, it's a combined event in Tokyo with the S6 athletes, which makes for a very quick consideration time of 34.07. But 36.62 is only less than 0.4 of a second off Tully's British record. It's great to see her back. She qualified for Rio in 2016, but had to withdraw through injury. So she'll be excited at the potential of making her first Paralympic Games. this summer. She's got European and World Major Championship medals, so she'll be looking to complete the set. As we wait on those confirmed results, it's worth noting that Katie Crowhurst, the teenager from Great Britain, has had a brilliant meet here. I know I was speaking to some staff members and they're very happy with the progress that a lot of the youngsters have made during the pandemic. Everybody here, whatever their role, has had to adapt how they approach their training, whether it be the coaches or the athletes. Everything that they've known in years gone by has completely changed, and I think in that sense a lot of the youngsters have had a more adaptable approach because they don't know what to expect. So for them, they're just excited at the beginning of their careers. They're just looking at ways to get fitter and faster, and that enthusiasm has been rewarded here, especially for the likes of Crowhurst, as she swims very quickly every time she enters the water. The men's event, we will see world champion Diamantis Michelinzakis of Greece. He's got a busy morning. Two of his main events, he's the world champion in the 50 metres and 100 metres freestyle and the 100 metres fly. And his 50 metres freestyle and his 100 metres fly, as you will have seen from the programme, for today. But he has entered both of them. A number of athletes have come to this competition to get their international classifications confirmed, because everybody running into Tokyo requires a confirmed or reviewed international Paralympic classification. From here, the athletes, not necessarily the athletes that are competing here, but from here, athletes in World Para Swimming, the next stage of the World Para Series will go to Louisville next weekend, and a number of athletes have already started their journey to that competition in preparation, and then following that we'll go straight into the Italian stage on the 17th and 18th of April, and then there's the chance to swim at the European Championships in Madeira from the 16th to the 22nd of May, and then the final stage of the World Para Series will happen in Berlin from the 17th to the 20th of June, always a well-attended event. And then from there we'll be looking all eyes on Tokyo. And here we have the results. These are the results of Heat 2. So we can see there Tally Kearney 940 points ahead of Paralympic champion Hannah Russell 844 points, and 50 freestyle specialist Susanna Cowell getting that third position with 817 points. Now there were 2 heats, so there might be some athletes who can qualify for that final from the first heat. I'm hoping that we can bring you those consolidated results, the overall summary. Here it comes. So Yona Molman, the Inform S4 athlete, qualifying just 2 points ahead of Tully Kearney, Hannah Russell, and Narelle Halevi making the cut, the athlete who swam in the first heat. And Nishida just missing out there, 616 points for 11th. We'll now move on to the men's 50 metre freestyle heats. Again, there will be 2 heats.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for the men's 50 metres freestyle heats.
This heat sees the Maliard twins of Israel both competing in the same race for the first time this week. They are being led out by Ariel. He competes in the S4 category, his brother the S7 category. There's your full lineup. Lyndon Longhorn of Great Britain in lane 6, looking to continue his quest to pick off another British record. So we have Hashad of Egypt in lane 1. Will Perry of Great Britain in lane 2. Charles Rosaille of France will go in 3. Ami Omer Dadon of Israel will go in 4. And it is Mark Malia, also of Israel, in 5. Lyndon Longhorn, Great Britain, as I mentioned, in 6. Mats Topkin of Estonia in 7. And Ariel Malia of Israel in 8 to complete the lineup. You see there Dadon just swimming from the side, entering from the side of the pool to take up his position in lane 4. Another S4 athlete. Charles Rosaille of France in lane 3. The highest classification athlete in this race in the S8 category. So a range of starts. There we go. We saw Mark Malia getting a great start off the block in lane 5, but it is that single arm freestyle of Charles Rosaille of France, a bronze medalist in previous World Championships in this event. Had some time out, but he's making his comeback and he's leading at the front of the race. There's a battle of the S6s in lanes 1 and 2, currently being won by William Perry. But here it is, Charles Rosaille coming into the wall now. He will touch in a time of 29.12. Mark Malia, 29.86. A great swim from Will Perry to dip under 33 seconds, to go 32.83 to win the battle of the S6s. Amir Omer Dadon winning the battle of the S4 athletes, 39.74. Lyndon Longhorn, 45.26. And again, if that is confirmed, that result, and it can be ratified, then that is a new British record, beating the old standard of 45.70, which has stood since the European Championships in '99, again to Paul Johnston of Great Britain and Scotland. So Lyndon Longhorn will be happy with that. There are the results. As I said, that record will need to be ratified. 659 points for third position there from Will Perry, and a great time from him this morning. There will be another heat, so these gentlemen will sit and watch the results to see if they have scored enough points to secure them a place in tonight's final. Heat 2 of 2 sees Andrew Mullen in lane 0 for Great Britain, trying to post a good time to put himself in consideration for the 4x50 20-point mixed relay team that Great Britain hope to send to Tokyo. As I said, Mitchell Nzakis of Greece, he is the world champion in this event. He'll go in lane 9. British-based Swiss athlete Leo McRae, also in the S6 category, the only S6 athlete in this heat. We did see 2 S6 athletes in the last heat, so he has the fastest entry time in that category this morning. He goes in lane 4. We're just waiting on the poolside to be cleared, disinfected, and made COVID secure, which is a term we are now all very familiar with, before the next heat make their way onto poolside.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for the men's 50 metres freestyle heat 2.
There is Mitchell Nzakis of Greece leading the athletes onto poolside. He's closely followed by Sergei Kanak of Kazakhstan, the S10 athlete. Israel have brought a fairly large contingent of athletes to this competition. And there we saw Ron Wolpert, the S9 athlete from Israel, in lane 7. Mikey Jones in lane 6 for Great Britain. Carlos Martinez Fernandez, there he is, an individual medley bronze medalist in previous championships. He will be going in lane 5. Leo McRae of Switzerland will go in lane 4.
This is heat 2.
As the athletes take to the start block, lane 3 will be Islam Tokayev of Belgium in the S8 category, Ariane Cristian Notretu of Romania is in the S9 category. Another Kazakhstan athlete, Daliev, is in the S5 category, along with Andrew Mullen of Great Britain at the top of your picture in lane 0. Martinez Fernandez in those blue shorts, getting away off the block well. He is in the same race with Michelin Zakis, the world champion, at the bottom of your screen, going very well here. He's got company from Sergio Kanak, the S10 athlete of Kazakhstan. Also going very well, one lane up, is Ron Wolpert. And all eyes are on this bottom battle, and it is Michelin Zakis that gets a touch by 0.02 of a second. Leo McRae, 33.33 in the S6 category. Mikey Jones, 31.10 in the S7 category. That was a fast race. Michelin Zakis there, fresh. Like that's almost his warm-up for the 100 meters butterfly, because he will be back in just a few heats' time. Like I said, 2 of his main events this morning. Here we see Daliev of Kazakhstan just looking, checking the results. Here are the results of that heat. Michelin Zakis taking the win on 803 points. Then Mikey Jones, 659 points. Just 30 points ahead of the S6 athlete, Leo McRae, to round it out with 629 points for the top 3. There were 2 heats. Here is the summary for tonight's final. So Martinez Fernandez making it in, rounding out the top 10 with 568 points. We can see Leo McRae is in there. Kinak of Kazakhstan made it. And so did Will Perry with that great swim to dip under 33 seconds. Matt Topkin just missing out there. We'll now be moving up to the opposite end of the pool. After 4 days, I've just about got used to the fact that after decades, we've switched round the start ends at this pool in Ponds Forge. The next event will be the women's multi-class 100 meters butterfly. There is 1 heat. Athletes range from the S9 category all the way through to the S14 category. See the core room there on the left-hand side. Normally a hive of activity, as athletes have to arrive at least 15 minutes before their event, but due to new protocols, actually athletes are asked to not come too early. They space out in those chairs. They sit out on the open poolside where everyone can see them, and they are asked to come race ready. So that means that they've got their suits on, their minimal clothing. If they've got to cover up any tattoos or markings, that has already previously been done. Everything, any equipment they use on the starting block has already been signed off prior to the start of the competition, to minimize the time hanging around and the interaction and the contact that might happen. So here we have the women for the multi-class 100 meters butterfly being led out by Louise Fides of Great Britain in the S14 category. She had a busy week. She's swimming well, already pre-considered for the Great Britain team, winning it the 100 meters breaststroke at the World Championships in London. Also pre-considered in the lane next to her, Tony Shaw of Great Britain. She got a silver medal in this event at the World Championships. So there's your full lineup. Lebrun of Belgium in 1. Marqueta Andrade of Mexico in 2. Crowhurst back in the water already in lane 3. Claire Supio also back in the water in lane 4 for France. Godicek in 5 for Israel. Hernandez Santos, her favourite event for Spain, in lane 6. And then Shaw of Great Britain and Fides of Great Britain in 7 and 8. So away they go, and at the bottom of the lane is Louise Fiddis, the S14 athlete, who's up and into her stroke. Her consideration time in this event is 1:07.51. A lot of depth in the S14 category. Jessica Jane Applegate not here this week, but she has already posted a pre-consideration time in this event by finishing silver in the World Championships in London. Tony Shaw going well in her battle. One lane up from her is Hernandez Santos, the S10 athlete from Spain, just turning ahead of Tony Shaw by half a second. The S10 athlete, a World Championship silver medalist in this event. But it is Louise Fiddis who leads them by a body length. Then Isabel Hernandez just ahead of Tony Shaw, the British record holder in this event. She's swimming very well here at this meet. Her British record time is 1:07.83. Louise Fiddis would be looking for Jessica Jane Applegate's European and British record, which is 1:04.18. 1:07.79 for Louise Fiddis there, just a few tenths of a second out of the consideration time. 1:10.23 for Shaw to just pip Hernandez Santos, 1:10.43. And then Gordichik, the other S9 athlete, 1:16.57 for her. Katie Crowhurst, 1:18.52. She's had a busy program, as has this lady, Louise Fiddis. All smiles as we leave the pool. The points have been confirmed, and it is Fiddis that tops the pile for this morning's heats. Tony Shaw just sneaking into that second position, just 2 points ahead of Hernandez Santos. That would be because the world record in the S9 and the S10 category, they're both held by Sophie Pascoe, and they're very similar times, so that's why the point score is not too different. Well, I'm sure those ladies have set themselves up for an exciting final this afternoon. We'll move on to the men's event shortly. We've talked about it a lot this week, but the S14 category has a lot of depth, particularly in Great Britain. And so there will be 2 heats of the men's version of this event, the multi-class 100 meters butterfly. Heat 1 sees a few of the athletes who have just from the 50 meters freestyle returning. Charles Rozoy of France, the Paralympic champion from back in London in 2012. In the S8 category, he'll go in lane 0, having just left the water. Ron Wolpert as well, back in for Israel in lane 2 in the S9 category. It's a short program this morning. These athletes train, though, to be able to back up these races. And having not raced for so long, people are just excited to have the opportunity to gain some race practice, go through those skills, test out equipment ahead of a potential Paralympic appearance this summer. There'll be 3 S14 athletes in this first heat. In lane 2, Marque de Andrada will be going again. He's had a busy week. He came here to get his classification confirmed. Then the young teenager Juan Ruiz Asensio, also of Mexico, will go in lane 1, just 13 years old. And breaststroke specialist Aymeric Parmentier of Belgium, he will go in lane 3. So they're the 3 S14 athletes that will go in this first heat. In the second heat, there are 7 S14 athletes. So as I said, there's a lot of depth in this category. And for those athletes, it will be a case of who can get their hand on the wall first to give themselves the best chance of progressing to tonight's final. In order to progress to tonight's final, it's the top 10 athletes on multi-classification points. So there'll be no lane 8. We're just waiting on the confirmed start list. So we So we are just waiting as the athletes prepare to come out. A lot of athletes enter as many events as they can at the start, and then as they get closer to the competition or even during the competition, make a tactical decision to withdraw or no need to swim. So we are just waiting on that, and there will be no athlete in lane 8. George Kelman-Johns deciding 100 meter butterfly, not for him this morning. So it is Alejandro Alvarado of Mexico who is leading the athletes out. He will occupy lane 7. Oliver Carter in that signature baseball cap. He's had a good week, a busy week. The S10 athlete. Those for Great Britain. And Martinez Fernandez already back for Spain in lane 4. Yeah, just having a quick bounce behind the block, making sure he's ready. There you can see, still wet from the 50 meters freestyle, Martinez Fernandez. So in lane 0, we have Rozoy of France. Then it's Ruiz Asensio of Mexico in 1, Wolpert of Israel in 2, Parmentier of Belgium in 3, Martinez Fernandez in 4. No Jacob Leach. Then so we go on to Carter, Oliver Carter in lane 6, and Alvarado of Mexico in lane 7. And Oliver Carter is going very well in the S10 category. He's right up there with Aymeric Parmentier of Belgium, who swims in the S14 category. And it will be Carter at the 50-meter turn, 29.96, ahead of Parmentier 30.34 and Alvarado 31.28. Oliver Carter is chasing a British record time of James Hollis, 57.48. The consideration time in this event, it is fast. It is 59.54, but Oliver Carter, the young athlete from Great Britain, just looking to better his personal best times as he comes into those final 5 meters. And he stops the clock in 1:05.43. His entry time was 1:07.15. So a great morning swim from him there. Parmentier there winning the battle of the S14 athletes, 1:08.55. Carlos Martinez Fernandez fresh off his 50 meters freestyle, as was Charles Rozoy, and it's Charles Rozoy. There he is, his hat's just coming off. He won the battle of the S8 athletes, 1:10.53 to 1:11.59 for Martinez Fernandez. There is Oliver Carter. Always a good feeling to get your hand to that wall first. As we said, it's a multi-class event, so we will watch the results summary to see the overall positions. And it is Rozoy's 1:10.53 that gets him 591 points. Take that victory ever so slightly over Oliver Carter with 584, and Martinez Fernandez rounding out the top 3 in 565 points. As I said, there is one more heat to come, so these athletes now will wait and watch the results to see if they get the opportunity to swim again in this evening's final. Here is the start list for Heat 2 of 2. As I said, a number of S14 athletes. Michelinzakis, the world champion for Greece, back in lane 4 in the S8 category. British record holder and silver medalist at the World Championships, Stephen Clegg, goes in lane 8 for Great Britain. The man from Edinburgh Uni already posted 2 consideration times this week, but this is his favourite event. And he's also already posted a consideration opportunity in this event, having medalled in the top 2 at those World Championships in London back in 2019. There they are, waiting to come out, led by world record holder and world champion Rhys Dunn. He really has taken the S14 category by storm since entering the world of international para-swimming. We saw him swim a brilliant 100 metres backstroke earlier this week to dip under the 1 minute barrier, the first British athlete ever to do so. Alex Portal in lane 7 for France, also having a fantastic meet. Dunn always looks so serious behind the blocks. Jordan Catchpole, another athlete with a very busy program here, already posted consideration times for the Paralympics. And there's Alex Rosser, Commonwealth Games finalist for Wales at the Gold Coast. As I said, a very stacked heat, this one. Expect some fast times. So we have a full heat with Rosser in lane 0 for Great Britain, then Jack Mill in lane 1 also for Great Britain. Louis Lawler in 2 also for Great Britain. Rhys Davis, the Welshman, going for Great Britain in lane 3. Then Michelin Zakis of Greece in 4. Camo of Japan in 5. Catchpole in 6 for Great Britain. Alex Portal for France in 7. Clegg in lane 8 for Great Britain. And Rhys Dunn in the S14 category, touching at the first 50 in the lead for Great Britain in lane 9. 26.62. He's leading out Stephen Clegg. 26.97 in the S12 category. And then Portal is in the S13 category, 27.22. And here Clegg is going with Rhys Dunn, the 2 black hats at the bottom of your screen, leading out this race as you would expect. Alex Portal doing what he can to hold on, but the battle is on. Louis Lawler having a great race up the top with Jack Milne. And it will be Stephen Clegg who gets a touch in 57.42. Just 0.06 outside of his British record. Great swim for Stephen Clegg. He's definitely come here in brilliant shape. The man from Edinburgh. Rhys Dunn will be happy with his 57.80. That's under the consideration time for this event, for the S14 category, as was Stephen Clegg's time in his respective classification group. Jordan Catchpole dipping under the minute there. Always a nice barrier to hit. And there we see 970 points for Stephen Clegg in his favoured event, followed by the 2 S14 athletes, Dunn and Catchpole. Catchpole just 1 point ahead of Alex Portal here this morning. There we can see the results summary, and Charles Rezoy on his comeback competition makes it into that final this evening in 10th position with 591 points. But it's Stephen Clegg that tops the summary. Oliver Carter there, that good swim from him this morning, just missing out on a place in the final. He finishes 11th. So that's it for this morning's action. We have one session left, the final session. It's a short one, it's a fast one, but be sure to join us because some athletes still to get those consideration times. So we'll be back here at 5 o'clock to start off with the women's multi-class 50 meters freestyle. Then there'll be the men's version of the event. And then it'll be those multi-class 100 meters butterflies, women's and men's, to finish off. So we really are taking that idea of last one, fast one here today in Sheffield, both in terms of the fact that we've got 50 freestyles, but also the fact that the session will be short. So thank you for joining us this morning. That concludes the action. You can see there that the officials are leaving the poolside, and we will see you back here for one last time for the final session tonight. Thank you.